Started. So we are in the third canto, 12th chapter, 25th verse.
Started.
Yeah. So 12.3.12.25. How different creations happen. That is the verses which are going on. Different types of creation. And let us see. धर्मस्तनाद्यः क्षिणतो यत्र नारायणः स्वयम् अधर्मपृष्ठतो यस्मान् मृत्युर्लोकभयङ्करः. Stanat. So from the breast of Brahma, religion manifested. And then Lord is seated in that breast, the right side. Dakshinaha yatraha Narayanaha, right side of his chest of Brahma, Narayana is seated. And then where did irreligion happen? Appear Adharma Prushtataha, that is backside. From where irreligion happened? From the back of Brahma. Mrityu Loka Bhayankara. The horrible death takes place for the living entity. So the right side of in the front, that is in the breast of Brahma, the chest of Brahma, you have Narayana. Behind, Lord's only form, Mrityu. Krishna says, na, Aham Kalosi. But that is an horrible form of Krishna. That is in the behind, backside. Adharma is there. So in this way, the religion was manifested from the place where personality of Godhead is personally situated in very significant place. Dharmastu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Wherever dharma is there, Krishna is there. Dharma is based on 4 important principles: compassion, austerity, truthfulness, and what is another one? Compassion, austerity, truthfulness, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit, purity. Purity. So in this way, the 4 principles speak about, Dharma speaks about the 4 principles. Lord is situated in the place where Dharma is there. That is what is given here. Next is Hridi Kamo Bhruvah Krodho Lobhascha Dhat Asyadva Sandhavo Medhran Nirruti Payoradhashrayah. So from the Hridi, from the heart of Brahma, Kama, that is lust and desire. Lust means desire appear. And then anger from his eyebrows. Brukuti. Not Brukuti, it is Bhruva. Brukuti means in between. Eyebrows is Bhruva. From the Bhruva, anger appeared. Lobha appeared from Adhara Dashadat. Adhara Dashadat. That means from the lips, greed appeared. In anger, na, you do like this, na, you twist your eyebrows. As I can understand. Eyebrows say anger. And Adhara say greed. Asyat vak sindhavaha. The power of speaking came from his mouth. And sindhavaha medhrat. From his penis, ocean appeared. Yes, from every organ, everything has appeared. And then nirrati payoho agha ashraya. All low activities, abominable activities from his anus, the source of all the sins. Evacuating place. From there, all abominable activities appear. From the genitals, ocean appeared. So in this way, what all different things have appeared that has been given. So both the verses, Saruna, read.
Text 25. धर्मस्तनाद्यक्षिणतो यत्र नारायण स्वयं अधर्म पृष्ठतो यस्मान् मृत्युर्लोकभयङ्करः. Translation. Religion was manifested from the breast of Brahma, wherein is seated the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. The irreligion appeared from his back, where horrible death takes place for the living entity. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The religion was manifested from the place where the personality of Godhead is personally situated in situated is very significant because religion means devotional service to the personality of Godhead as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita as well as Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, the last instruction is to give up all other engagements in the name of religion and take shelter of personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms that the highest perfection of religion is that which leads to the devotional service of the Lord, unmotivated, unhampered by material impediments. Religion, in its perfect form, is the devotional service of the Lord, and irreligion is just the opposite. The heart is the most important part of the body, whereas back is the most neglected part. When one is attacked by an enemy, one is apt to endure attacks from the back and protect himself carefully from all attacks on the chest. All types of irreligion spring from the back of of Brahma, whereas real religion, the devotional service of the Lord, is generated from the chest, the seat of Narayana. Anything which does not lead to devotional service of the Lord is irreligion, and anything which leads to the devotional service of the Lord is called religion. Text 26. Hridi kamo bhruva krodho lobhaschadara dachadhat आस्याद्वाक् सिन्धवो मेढ्रान् निर्ऋतिः पयोरधाश्रयः पायोरधाश्रयः. Translation. Lust and desire become manifested from the heart of Brahma, anger from between his eyebrows, greed from between his lips, the power of speaking from his mouth, the ocean from his penis, and low and abominable activities from his anus, the source of all sins. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A conditioned soul is under the influence of mental speculation. However great one may be in the estimation of mundane education and learning, he cannot be free from the influence of psychic activities. Therefore, it is very difficult to give up lust and the desires for low activities until one is in the line of devotional service to the Lord. When one is frustrated in lust and low desires, anger is generated from the mind and expressed between the eyebrows. Ordinary men are therefore advised to concentrate the mind by focusing on the place between the eyebrows, whereas the devotees of the Lord are already practiced to place the Supreme Personality of Godhead on the seat of their minds. The theory of becoming desireless is untenable because the mind cannot be made desireless. When it is recommended that one be desireless, it is understood that one should not desire things which are destructive to spiritual values. A devotee of the Lord always has the Lord in his mind, and thus he does not need to be desireless because all his desires are in relationship with the service of the Lord. The power of speaking is called Saraswati or the goddess of learning, and the birthplace of the goddess of learning is the mouth of Brahma. Even if a man is endowed with the favor of goddess of learning, it is quite possible for his heart to be full of lust and material desire, and his eyebrows to display symptoms of anger. One may be very learned in the mundane estimation, but that does not mean that he is free from all low activities of lust and anger. Good qualifications can be expected only from a pure devotee who is always engaged in the thought of the Lord or in samadhi with faith. Hare Krishna.
Next. छायया कर्दमो जज्ञे देवहूत्यापति प्रभुः मनसो देहतश्चेदम् जज्ञे विश्वकृतो जगत्. The Kadamuni he manifested from the shadow of Brahman. Thus all became manifested from either the body or the mind of Brahman. In this way, how the sons also were born. Kadamuni is the husband of great Devahuti. Okay, read this small one.
Text 27. Chayaya kardamo jagye devahutya prabhu manaso dehatashvedam jagne vishwakrito jagat. Translation. Sage Kardama, husband of great Devahuti, was manifested from the shadow of Brahma. Thus, all became manifested from either the body or the mind of Brahma. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although one of these modes of material nature is always prominent, they are never represented unalloyed by one another. Even in the most prominent existence of the two lower qualities, the modes of passion and ignorance, there is sometimes a tinge of the mode of goodness. Therefore, all the sons generated from the body or the mind of Brahma were in the modes of passion and ignorance. But some of them, like Kardama, were born in the mode of goodness. Narada was born in the transcendental state of Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Next. So here is said, many of them are born from the mode of passion and good and ignorance, but Kardamuni from mode of goodness. Vacham duhitaram tanvim swayambhur haratim manah akamam chakamet sakama
इति
iti na shutam. So Vak, that is the Vak Shakti, Vak. This daughter was born from Brahma, but she attracted his mind, Haratim Manah. But she was not sexually inclined, Kama. Kama. She was not sexually inclined, but she attracted him. And just see, Brahmaji was the greatest devotee, and he was not spared. How material lust can attract anyone. Okay, read this. Aruna.
बलवान इंद्रिय गामा
Okay, you want to read? Read. Which one you are reading? 3.12.28, Prabhu. Bade Prabhu.
Bade Prabhu, you are reading na Prabhu?
एक मिनट माता जी एक मिनट रुको
Next verse you read. Aruna, you
ओके
read now.
Okay. Text 28. Vacham duhitaram tanvim swayambhur haratim manah akamam chakame chatta sakama iti nashrutam. Translation. O Vidura, we have heard that Brahma had a daughter named Vak, who was born from his body and who attracted his mind towards sex, although she was not sexually inclined towards him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Balavan Indriya Gramo Vidvamsam Api Karshati. Bhagavatam 9.19.17. It is said that senses are so mad and strong that they can bewilder even the most sensible and learned man. Therefore, it is advised that one should not indulge in living alone even with one's mother, sister, or daughter. Vidvamsam api karshati means that even most learned also become the victims of the sensuous urge. Maitreya hesitated to state this anomaly on the part of Brahma, who was sexually inclined to his own daughter, but still he mentioned it because sometimes it so happens, and the living example is Brahma himself, although he is the primeval living being and most learned within the whole universe. If Brahma could be a victim of the sexual urge, then what of others who are prone to so many mundane frailties? The extraordinary immortality on the part of Brahma was heard to have occurred in some particular kalpa, but it could not have happened in the kalpa in which Brahma heard directly from the Lord the four essential verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, because the Lord benedicted Brahma after giving him lessons on the Bhagavatam that he would never be bewildered in any kalpa whatsoever. This indicates that before the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, he might have fallen a victim to such sensuality, but after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam directly from the Lord, there was no possibility of such failures. One should, however, take a serious note of this incident. The human being is a social animal, and his unrestricted mixing with the fair sex leads to downfall. Such social freedom of man and woman, especially among the younger section, is certainly a great stumbling block on the path of spiritual progress. Material bondage is due only to Material bondage is due only to sexual bondage, and therefore unrestricted association of man and woman is surely a great impediment. Maitreya cited this example on the part of Brahma just to bring to our notice this great danger. Hare Krishna.
When we discuss about the appearance of Srimad Bhagavatam, the first shlokas, the first Bhagavatam was spoken by Krishna to Brahma. The first recipient is Brahmaji. So
Hmm.
here Prabhupada writes, Chaturshloki Bhagavatam. After that the benediction is given, you will never be bewildered. So yes, that is why this is in some other kalpa. Before the Bhagavatam was spoken to
Hmm.
Brahmaji. Also, it is said one has to be very careful, especially the fathers, the daughters. Nowadays we see the daughters are like barely dressed before father. Should not be. It's a very bad cult. So when Brahma can be deluded, but a person who is into spirituality, taking a Bhagavatam very seriously, Shoka Moha Bhayapa, all this moha and all will automatically go away. Tadharme Kutamatim Bilo Katadharma Tammadharme Kutamatim Vilokya Pitaram Shutaha Marichi Mukhya Munayo Vishramбhat Pratyabodhayan Tam Adharme Kutamatim Vilokya Pitaram Sutaha Marichi Mukhya Munayo Vishramбhat Pratyabodhayan. Now all the sons of Brahma were born from his mind, some are born hmm, in the mode of goodness, some are born in the mode of passion, some are born in the mode of ignorance. Manasa Putras of Brahma, they are all they found their father doing like this, deluded by the act of immorality. Then but still they did not lose respect. They spoke with great respect. So they know how to present even their protest before father. That is a culture actually. How to present even something which is against the acts of father. Okay. Bade Prabhuji read 29th verse. 12th chapter 29th verse. Are you reading? I think. Aruna, you only read.
29. तदर्मे कृतमतिं विलोक्य पितरं सुता मरीचि मुख्यामुनयो विश्वम्बात् प्रत्यबोधयन्. Translation. Thus, finding their father so deluded in the act of immorality, the sages headed by Marichi, all sons of Brahma, spoke as follows with great respect. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The sages like Marichi were not in the wrong in submitting their protests against the acts of their great father. They knew very well that even though their father committed a mistake, there must have been some great purpose behind the show. Otherwise, such a great personality could not have committed such a mistake. It might be that Brahma wanted to warn his subordinates about human frailties in their dealings with women. This is always very dangerous for persons who are on the path of self realization. Therefore, great personalities like Brahma, even when in the wrong, should not be neglected, nor could the great sages, headed by Marichi, show any disrespect because of his extraordinary behavior. Hare Krishna.
30th verse. नैतत् पूर्वै कृतं स्वद्ये न करिष्यन्ति चापरे यस्त्वं दुहितरं गच्छे अग्र अग्रह्याङ्गजं प्रभुः. O father, न एतद् पूर्वः. No other Brahma has done like this in the previous kalpa. What happened, father? Why are you doing like this? Na duhitaram. That too, one is inclined towards his own daughter. You are the supreme being in the universe. How is it that you want to have sex with your daughter and you are not able to control your desires? Agriha. You are not able to control. Nobody will attempt like this even in the future. Na karishyati. Nobody did in the past. Nobody will even think about having a sex desire, sexual desire with one's own daughter. Read, Aruna.
Text 30. नैतत् पूर्वैकृतं त्वद्ये न करिष्यन्ति चापरे यस्त्वं दुहितरं गच्छेदनिगृह्याङ्गजं प्रभुः. Translation. O Father, this performance in which you are endeavoring to complicate yourself was never attempted by any other Brahma or anyone else, nor by you in previous kalpas, nor will anyone dare to attempt it in the future. You are the supreme being in the universe, so how is it that you want to have sex with your daughter and cannot control your desire? Purport. The post of Brahma is the supermost post in the universe, and it appears that there are many Brahmas and many universes besides the one in which we are situated. One who fills this post must be ideal in behavior, for Brahma sets the example for all living entities. Brahma, the living entity, who is the most pious and spiritually elevated, is entrusted with a post next to that of the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
तेजयसाम् अपि हेतन् न सुश्लोक्यं जगद्गुरो यद्वृत्तम् अनुतिष्ठन् वै लोकक्षेमाय कल्पते. You are most powerful, Tejayasam. Na Sulakshayam. It's not good behavior from your side. You're Jagat Guru that on top of that. You're Guru also. Hmm. And Anutishtanti, people follow you. Shemaya Kalpate. For their spiritual improvement, they follow you, and this type of behavior that you're attracted to your own daughter. It is not befitting you. Okay, 31st. Bade Prabhu, can you read 31st verse? Gandhi Prabhu, are you there at home? Okay, I'm gonna read.
Text 31. तेजीयसामपि ह्येतन्न सुश्लोक्यं जगद्गुरो यद्वृत्तमनुतिष्ठन् वैलोकक्षेमाय कल्पते. Translation: even though you are the most powerful being, this act does not suit you because your character is followed for spiritual improvement by people in general. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that a supremely powerful living entity can do anything and everything he likes, and such acts do not affect him in any way. For example, the sun, the most powerful fiery planet in the universe, can evaporate water from anywhere and still remain as powerful. The sun evaporates water from filthy places, and yet it is not infected with the quality of the filth. Similarly, Brahma remains unimpeachable in all conditions, but still, since he is the spiritual master of all living entities, his behavior and character should be so ideal that people will follow such sublime behavior and derive the highest spiritual benefit. Therefore, he should not have acted as he did. Hare Krishna.
Krishna have not acted as he did. Tasmai namo bhagavate ya idam svena rocisha atmastam vyanjayamasa sadharmam patumarhati. So let us pay obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are saying, let us pay obeisances. Who is situated? The Atmastham, who is situated in everyone's heart, who is situated in himself. And then Venjayan, he has manifested Dharma actually. And he can only protect, he has manifested this cosmos and he can only protect the Dharma. So let us pray to him. So whenever there is a Dharma, the only person who can establish Dharma is Krishna and his representatives. So better is, let us pray to Krishna. Okay, read again.
Text 32. Tasmai namo bhagavate ya idam svena rocisha atmastam vyanjayamasa sadharmam patumarhati. Translation: let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, who, by his own effulgence, while situated in himself, has manifested this cosmos. May he also protect religion for all the goodness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lust for sexual intercourse is so strong that it appears herein that Brahma could not be dissuaded from his determination in spite of the appeal by his great sons like Marichi. Therefore, the great sons began to pray to the Supreme Lord for the good sense of Brahma. It is only by the grace of the Supreme Lord that one can be protected from the allurement of lusty material desires. The Lord gives protection to devotees who are always engaged in His transcendental loving service, and by His causeless mercy, He forgives the accidental fall of a devotee. Therefore, sages like Marichi prayed for the mercy of the Lord, and their prayer was fruitful. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada writes, why they went to Lord? Because maybe Brahma was not able to be convinced. He was not understanding. He could not be dissuaded. That is why they went to Lord. Because when he says, Lord, apiche suduracharo bhajate maam ananya bhav sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito itself. If there is an accidental fall down of a devotee, Lord protects and teaches the devotee also to come in the right path. स इत्थं घृतः पुत्रान् पुरो दृष्ट्वा प्रजापतीन् प्रजापतिपतिस्त्वन् तन्वं तन्वं तज्याज तद्याज व्रीडितस्तदा कान्दितो जगृहो घोरां निहारं यद्विदुस्तमः. Now Brahma, father of all Prajapati, Brahma, what did he do? He saw that all his Prajapati sons, they are speaking like this, giving him the knowledge. He felt ashamed, Viditaha. He felt ashamed. Immediately what he did? He gave up the body. That is why this Brahma is from the previous kalpa. The same Brahma, but had the body in the previous kalpa. Now in this kalpa, he heard, in one of the kalpa, he heard Krishna giving knowledge. Chaturshloki Bhagavatam. The previous kalpa, in whatever kalpa, it's not necessary previous kalpa. When this shameful act happened, he immediately gave up the body, and that appeared as fog. So when you see the fog, you should remember. But which fog? This is fog in darkness. Early morning, fog in darkness appears. That body in all directions. The body appeared in all directions as a dangerous fog in darkness. Okay, read.
Hare Krishna, text 33. Saitam gunata putran puro drishtva prajapatin prajapati patistanvam tatyaja vriditastada tam disho jagruhur doram niharam yadvidustamaha. Translation. The father of all Prajapatis, Brahma, thus seeing all his Prajapati sons speaking in that way, became very much ashamed and at once gave up the body he had accepted. Later, that body appeared in
What happened? I think connective problem must be there. Okay, I'll read. The best way to compensate for one's sinful acts.
Mataji.
Yeah,
Something
read.
happened.
Okay, read.
Later, that body appeared in all directions as a dangerous fog in darkness. Purport. The best way to compensate for one's sinful acts is to give up one's body at once. The Brahma, the leader of the living entities, showed this by his personal example. Brahma has a fabulous duration of life, but he was obliged to give up his body due to his grievous sin, even though he had merely contemplated it in his mind without having actually done it. Due to his grievous sin, even though he had merely contemplated in his mind without having actually done it. This is a lesson for the living entities, showing how sinful an act it is to indulge in undesired sex life. Even to think of abominable sex life is sinful, and to compensate for such acts, one has to give up his body. In other words, one's duration of life, blessings, opulence, etc. are decreased by sinful acts, and most dangerous type of sinful act is unrestricted sex. Ignorance is the cause of sinful life, or sinful life is the cause of gross ignorance. The feature of ignorance is darkness or fog. Darkness or fog still covers the whole universe, and the sun is the only counteracting principle. One who takes shelter of the Lord, the perpetual light, has no fear of being annihilated in the darkness of fog or ignorance. Hare Krishna.
कदाचिध्यायतः स्रष्टुः वेद आसंश् आसं
चतुर्मुखा
आसंश्चतुर्मुखात् कथं स्रक्ष्याम्यहं लोकान् समवेतान् यथा पुरा. Kadachi, once upon a time, Jayanta was contemplating. Brahma was contemplating how to create this world, how to create the universe, like how he did in the past millennium. He was contemplating also on the four Vedas. So in this way, how shall I create? That was a question he was contemplating on that. And it appeared from the four mouth. What appeared? The four Vedas, which contain all variety of knowledge, became manifested from his four mouths. So not only the one made. Once upon a time when Brahma was thinking of how to create the worlds as in the past. So when he was thinking about how to create, at that time these four Vedas emanated from his four mouth. Veda means jnana. And in this way the knowledge appeared from his four mouth. Even for creation you require knowledge. So first the knowledge appears, then the creation happens. Okay, read.
634 कदाचिध्यायतसृष्टुर्वेदा आसंश्चतुर्मुखात् कथं स्रक्ष्याम्यहं लोकान् समवेतान् यथा पुरा. Translation. Once upon a time, when Brahma was thinking of how to create the worlds as in the past millennium, the four Vedas, which contain all varieties of knowledge, became manifested from his four mouths. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As a fire can consume anything and everything without being contaminated, so, by the grace of the Lord, the fire of Brahma's greatness consumed his desire for the sinful act of sex with his daughter. The Vedas are the source of all knowledge, and they were first revealed to Brahma by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, while Brahma was thinking of recreating the material world. Brahma is powerful by dint of his devotional service unto the Lord. And Lord is always ready to forgive his devotee if by chance he falls down from the noble path of devotional service. The Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.42 confirms this as follows. Swapadamulam bhajata.
Swapadamulam bhajatah priyasya. Wait, I'll explain this. त्यक्त्वान्यभावस्य हरिपरेशः विकर्म यच् चोत्पत्तितं
Patitam
कथञ्चित्
katham.
धुनोति सर्वं हृदि सन्निहितः. He said, whoever is 100% dedicated in the transcendental service of the Lord is very dear to Lord. Swapadamulam bhagatah priyasya. And Lord is being situated in the heart of the devotee, excuses all kinds of sins committed by chance, of course. Vikarmayat chosh patitam kathanchit dhunoti sarvam hridhi sannivishta. Lord removes that. Just accidental some fall down is there. Lord does not mind it. But that doesn't mean that on the name of the holy name, on the strength of the holy name, perform sinful activities. Sometimes accidental happen. That is considered by Lord. Namno balad yasya papa buddhi, that should not be there. Seventh, nam aparad. Okay, read from there, from the paragraph.
It was never expected that a great personality like Brahma would ever think of sex indulgence with his daughter. The example shown by Brahma only suggests that the power of material nature is so strong that it can act upon everyone, even Brahma. Brahma was saved by the mercy of the Lord with a little punishment, but by the grace of the Lord, he did not lose his prestige as the great Brahma. Hare
When
Krishna.
body was given up, a small punishment is there. That became a terrible fog. But he did not lose the position as Brahma. Chaturhutram karma tantram upaveda dharmasya padavaschatvaram tathaivashrama vrittayah. So the four kinds of paraphernalia for conducting the fire sacrifice became manifest. There is a chanter, the offerer, the fire, the action performed in terms of supplementary Vedas. Also, the four principles of religiosity, that is, truth, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness. There is compassion. And the duties in the four social orders all became manifest. That means four dharmic dharma, the principles of dharma, and the four, that is, performer, offerer, fire, and the action. ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महवि ब्रह्माग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधि. So in that four are appeared from Brahma. See, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi. Arpanam, that means the performer. Brahmahavi, the butter. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmaiva tena, no. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi. Brahmahutam. Hutam means the person who is doing. Then Gantavya, that is going to the abode, that is spiritual world. That is not a coming from Brahma. Brahma Agni comes from Brahma. So this Brahma refers to the transcendental. When see all the Agni, this fire sacrifice comes from Brahma. Okay? The performer comes from Brahma. The one uh, the one who is chanting Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Hari, Brahma Agni, Brahma Hutam. See, Brahmeva Bhutena Gantavyam, that is it. The fourth, first of all, comes from Brahma. Okay? So last, we understood this. The performer, the chanter, the Agni, and the action involved. Action means all Swaha, Swaha, you're putting in. So last verse, read and we'll finish here. Okay? Read, Aruna. Aruna, read. You're able to read, Aruna. Unmute your phone.
Ataji, give me 1 minute. This got disconnected. Give me just 1 minute. I'm connecting this. Yeah. Text 35. Chaturhotram karma saha dharmasya padaschatvaras tathaivaashram vrittayah. Translation: the four kinds of paraphernalia for conducting the fire sacrifice became manifest: the performer, the chanter, the offerer, the fire, and the action performed in terms of the supplementary Vedas, also the four principles of religiosity: truth, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness, and the duties in the four social orders all became manifest. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Eating, sleeping, defending, and mating are the four principles of material bodily demands which are common to both the animals and human society. To distinguish human society from the animals, there is a performance of religious activities in terms of the social statuses and orders of life. They are all clearly mentioned in the Vedic literatures and were manifested by Brahma when the four Vedas were generated from his four mouths. Thus, the duties of humankind in terms of the statuses and social orders were established to be observed by the civilized man. Those who traditionally follow these principles are called Aryans or progressive human beings. Hare Krishna.
You can stop here.
Hare Krishna.
Any doubt?
Dandavata.
Okay. Let's stop here. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila